Sometimes this is, I guess you could say that this is a job. I do this and I get paid for it and people watch it. And if I didn't do it, I wouldn't get paid. Part of doing like a news show is you read a lot of bullshit. You see a lot of stupid ass fucking garbage that, quite frankly, is gaslighting you. That's pretty much what it is to experience looking at the news on a daily basis, is being gaslit by thousands of different people that work for multinational corporations. So one way of gaslighting you that the media loves to do, as well as the police, is using the term officer-involved shooting. Right? People, when they say this, what they are saying is, I have sold any amount of the soul that I previously had for probably less than minimum wage. I hate and resent my fellow human. I worship authority, and I will do literally anything it takes to destroy humanity. That's what people who use the term officer-involved shooting really mean to say. But all kinds of news media use the phrase officer-involved shooting, right? So really, though, there's other words you can put in a headline, to make it a little bit more entertaining, a little bit more creative, because when you become a journalist that works at a local news media station, you don't really have any job. There's no creativity. All you do is plaster your name on an auto AI generated headline that uses words like and phrases like officer involved shooting, right? So, but what little room for creativity these so-called journalists have, they are going off on a competition of who can create the most excruciatingly cringe headline when it comes to someone being murdered by a gangster. So again, facts. Someone was murdered by a gangster, a criminal, a drug lord, a crime lord, went and destroyed somebody's life, killed them, murdered them in cold blood, right? So how are we going to describe this? I know I've been giving this a lot of wind up. Shit, I fucked it up. Man dies as a result of officer-involved shooting. I'll say this again. Man dies. Passively. He just dies. Just drop dead. No one knows how. As a result of officer-involved shooting. Now, again, this was written by Curtis Hayen. You can, I guess, look at this page here. You can tell this guy really cares about truth. This guy really cares about holding the powerful to account. That's why he got into journalism, right? Curtis Hayen wrote this fucking piece of garbage article. Man dies. It could have been the fentanyl. Who knows, right? As a result of officer-involved shooting. Again, imagine this. You're working at Bojangles. You decide, you know what? I'm going to bring my strap to work today. A customer comes in and says, hey, I want some more ketchup. So bang, bang, bang. Shoot them. Blown their head off, right? Would we have articles written about that with man dies as a result of fry cook involved shooting? Just imagine another sort of analogous context where you go to work and decide to kill someone completely randomly for no reason. They didn't attack you, they didn't do anything, you just feel like killing someone today. And then we have articles talking about that in the passive tense. I don't know, honestly, if I were a cop, I would be pissed when I read this article. This man did not die as a result of it. I killed the motherfucker. Give me the point. Give me the goddamn tic-tac-toe tally mark, motherfucker. Come on, I deserve that shit. This is my 15th kill this week. What are you gonna do and fucking take my kill? This is the whole new meaning to kill stealing. Anyway, stolen valor. Let's go on. Authorities are investigating a deadly officer-involved shooting in Shreveport. A deadly officer-involved shooting. Did these people have a brain? Do these people even have these? Has anyone checked on Curtis Hayen? Is Curtis Hayen, did he die 15 years ago and an AI has replaced him? Who the fuck writes like this? Police were summoned to a, oh boy, once again, here we go again, folks. Police were summoned to a welfare concern on Old River Drive at 1:44 p.m., late at night. I mean, it was so dark out at 1:44 p.m. I couldn't see a thing, you know. It was, you know, shrouded by the nighttime. I just started shooting. It's not my fault I shot the wrong guy. I mean, it's pitch black at 1:44 p.m. in Shreveport. We all know this. On Monday, May 29, Cato 911 dispatch records show that's in the Riverwalk gated community. So you can live, think about this, you can live in a gated community. You're living in this like middle class, upper middle class, you know, everything is fine. Gangsters can still walk through your door and murder somebody because gangsters rule the world. I need you all to understand there is no law, there is no order. The only things that there are organized criminal syndicates controlling other organized criminal syndicates, and we're all basically watching the show. Quote, 2 officers arrived on scene and encountered 1 male subject. Again, the dehumanization, not in just the literal sense as this person was shot, murdered, killed, their life was cut short by a gangster's bullet, right? So in one way you could refer to that as dehumanizing. But now they're not even a person. They're just 1 male subject that was encountered. Think about that. We encountered a male subject. Not a person, not the victim, certainly not a victim. I mean, Lord have mercy, they're just target practice. They're not a victim. They're not even a human, let alone a victim. You got to be a human to be a victim, right? That's like if you kick a trash can, oh, poor trash can, right? Because people are actually, especially if they're black in America, it's just target practice for cops so that they can get better at using their guns, right? Let's be honest. So, let's keep going. During that encounter, shots were exchanged. It makes it sound like the guy was shooting back at them. After an altercation ensued. So there was a male subject. All we know is an altercation ensued, and then shots were exchanged. A news release sent by LSP later that evening stated simply, I love it, stated simply that during that encounter, an Imagine, yo, Curtis Hayen, right, by the way, look at this guy. Curtis Hayen is reading the police report, and he's like, wow, we have a lot of information, you know. Okay, so the police report says, during that encounter, an altercation ensued and shots were fired. And again, Curtis Hayen, because this guy is a creative writing genius. This guy has got like a fucking doctorate in how to fucking articulate the most finely crafted poetic sentence in the history of mankind. You know, converts this, right, into, actually no, this is just another quote, never mind. So there actually is no creative writing. So they just, like, the police just said the same thing twice, my bad. The wounded man, now again, do we have any information? All we know is it was a welfare call. A welfare call, right? A welfare call. Now again, if this guy, this male subject, I'm sorry, not a person, not a guy, not a human, just a male subject, could be a zebra for all we fucking know, right? The only thing we know is that 1, there is a male subject, and 2, shots were exchanged. That's all we got. So again, now, if this so-called male subject could be a fucking raccoon, right? If this male subject had a gun and started shooting at the cops, wouldn't you would think, right? That would be the headline, right? Hero cops defend themselves, you know, from almost being killed by male subject, you know? Right? So factor this in. Why is it that they're not giving us any information? Let's keep going. The wounded man was taken to Astra LSU Health Shreveport with at least 1 gunshot wound. He was later pronounced deceased. Late Monday night, the Cato coroner's office identified him as 60-year-old Robert Diamond. Oh shit, he has a name. I thought this was like a fucking capybara that was just walking through this gated community. Oh fuck, this is a human being. Holy shit. And this is news to me. Police fired on Diamond after he produced a handgun when they approached him. Okay, so now we have some information. Again, who speaks like this? He produced a handgun? Produced a handgun. Like, this guy is just like a one-man factory, you know? Like, he's like opening up his fucking belly and like, you know, putting some machine parts in there and then like, you know, puking them up in his mouth, chewing them up, and then shits out a handgun. How the fuck do you how do you produce a handgun? Do you mean, I don't know, withdrew? Took out? Showed? What the fuck? Who says produced a handgun? I'm sorry, man. What the fuck? And even then, okay, this is a wellness call, a welfare check. You should be trained to know what to do when someone, quote unquote, produces a handgun in a, again, no crime was committed. Is holding a handgun a crime? I thought we had a Second Amendment. What happened to the right to bear arms in this country? Now, all of a sudden, cops can murder you because you're producing handguns in a country that has a right to bear arms? The coroner's office reported Diamond was transported to Ochsner LSU Health Hospital, blah, blah, blah. Police had at least 20 units on the scene. There were 20 units. What is a unit? Is that a person or is that like a squad? I'm not sure. But at least 20 people involved. And you're telling me the only option was to gun down the male subject? Really? Really? You have 20 motherfuckers with cars and body armor on a welfare check. You know, like, come on, man. This is crazy shit. Authorities urge anyone with information or photographs or video to share them, blah, blah, blah. So, again, they just killed somebody. They murdered somebody in cold blood. No crime was committed. The only thing this poor male subject did was exercise his Second Amendment right to bear arms, and for that criminal offense, he was gunned down by the Gestapo of this country. So, congratulations, America. Wow, look at this. Monday's deadly shooting marks the 5th officer-involved shooting in 4 months in Shreveport. Jesus fucking Christ, Shreveport is falling apart. And again, officer-involved shooting. Like, this guy was just executed, like, gangster style for producing a handgun in a country that ostensibly says anyone is allowed to own guns, right? So, pretty crazy shit. But hey, everybody, local media's on the case. We're speaking truth to power today because a man died as a result of an officer-involved shooting in Shreveport yesterday, everybody. So there's some good news, or just news in general. I don't think it's good, but it's news for you this morning.